Good afternoon, everyone. Over the last 2 weeks, COVID cases have soared in both Ontario and Grey Bruce to unprecedented levels. Over 100,000 new cases were reported in Ontario over the last 2 weeks, up 425% from the previous 2-week period. 803 new cases were reported in Grey Bruce, an increase of 458% over the previous 2 weeks. 46 new cases were reported in the town of the Blue Mountains in the last 2 weeks, an unprecedented number. Currently, there are 36 active cases in the Blue Mountains. The number of people in Ontario hospitalized was up almost 200%, with smaller increases seen in those in ICU and on ventilators. 77 Ontarians lost their lives over the past 2 weeks, a slight decrease from the 90 during the previous 2-week period. Currently, there are 7 people hospitalized with COVID in Grey Bruce. The great surge in cases driven by the Omicron variant has made getting tests next to impossible. Over the last several days, people with symptoms consistent with COVID-19 faced long lineups, and in some places, a complete lack of available appointments for PCR testing. Labs are currently at capacity, processing 60 to 70,000 samples per day. People with positive results from rapid antigen tests done at home or at the pharmacy have little chance of their infection being documented. So Public Health Ontario says that the infection data we just talked about should be interpreted with caution, as it is likely a significant undercount of the actual amount of infection occurring in the province. In response to the surge in cases brought on by the arrival of the Omicron variant, the province announced a series of new measures to help limit the spread. The capacity limit was reduced to 50% in indoor public settings such as restaurants, bars, and other food, drink, personal care services, personal fitness trainers, stores, and shopping malls. The number of patrons permitted to sit at a table in a restaurant, bar, or other food or drink establishment and meeting and event space is limited to 10 people, and patrons will be required to remain seated. Bars and restaurants and meeting and event spaces will be required to close by 11 p.m. Takeout and delivery are permitted beyond 11 p.m. In addition, to mitigate COVID-19 transmission that can occur in informal social gatherings, the province also reduced social gathering limits to 10 people indoors and 25 people outdoors. The best protection from a serious case of COVID or death is still being fully vaccinated with 2 doses plus a booster shot. According to data from the province's Science Advisory Table, protection provided by COVID-19 vaccines against infection has waned dramatically since the highly infectious Omicron variant started spreading across Ontario. The data shows that while having 2 doses does still protect against severe illness and hospitalization among those who contract the virus, the ability to prevent infection has dropped to 15% from nearly 90% a month ago before the arrival of Omicron for people who have received 2 doses. It is therefore most important that you get your booster shot as soon as possible. Locally, the following vaccination clinics are scheduled over the coming weeks in the Blue Mountains. The Grey Bruce Public Health Unit is hosting a clinic at the Beaver Valley Community Centre on January 3rd, 2022, from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m., and one at the Meaford and St. Vincent Community Centre in Meaford on January 5th from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. A complete schedule of planned clinics in all of Grey Bruce can be found at the Grey Bruce Health Unit website at www.publichealthgraybruce.on.ca. Community clinics are also planned at the Beaver Valley Community Centre on Wednesdays and Fridays throughout January. Appointments can be booked at tbmvaccines.ca. As I tape this thing on Friday morning, there's actually a clinic going on there right now. In addition, Dr. Tim Remiard is offering vaccinations at the Blue Mountains Community Health Center in Thornbury. All community members are welcome. Appointments can be made online by visiting mediohealth.booking/Dr. TG Remiard. Vaccines are also being offered at the Thornbury Pharmacy. To be placed on the appointment notification list, please visit Thornbury Pharmacy MedMe app/schedule. Up-to-date information on all of these clinics can be found on the tbmvaccine.ca website. With COVID raging throughout the community, all residents are urged to be careful as they go about their daily lives. A happy new year to you all, and please stay safe.